Hello, my beautiful people. Your 2023 tarot and astrology readings are up and out there for your purchasing pleasure. So they are the same price. I'm keeping the same price so that they are accessible for everybody. So you can get them for $4.99 a piece, which is like the price of a cup of coffee, basically, or a sandwich, or probably, I don't even think you can get either of those now. Well, thereabouts at this moment in time. So this year, I have included even more knowledge, even more wisdom for you to digest. So as part of those, you will get the numerology overview, the eclipse overview. That is a part that I'm not going to be putting out on any of my other platforms. And it's really important that you see that, because the way that the eclipse is full next year is there's some really juicy tidbits in there. On top of that, you will get the lunation section, which is all about your new moon, your full moon of the year of 2023, and the eclipses and how all of those are going to be impacting your sign. On top of that, you will get the 12-month breakdown, and this year, the 12-month tarot breakdown. And on top of that, this year, I've created a 19 plus, because they're about 19 pages or more, plus page document of astrological knowledge and wisdom, and how the biggest transits of the year are going to be hitting you in your sign. So I have literally, by the way, that's downloadable and printable, so you can have it as like a reference guide for the year ahead. I literally couldn't fit any more into these. We've also made the files smaller this year so that they're easier for you guys to download. I've tried to think of absolutely everything. So you can get one for $4.99. You can get your big three, your sun, moon, and ascendant, for $14.97. So you would select the two that you want, and then at the cart you add the third item so that you get your sun, moon, and rising. Or you can buy the bundle for $24.99, right? Look at that. And then you can download them and send them to all of your loved ones. With that said, I just want to say a massive thank you for allowing me to, from time to time sell you things. Obviously, this is my business. It is how I do my work. So thank you so much for listening. If you want to get those, you can do so on the link in the description box below. For those of you that do purchase and support my work, I thank you so deeply and humbly from my heart to yours. I really hope you have a wonderful 2023, and I really hope that you love them as much as I did creating them. Take care, and then let's get to your week ahead taroscope. Hi Taurus, welcome to your week ahead taroscope with me, Raphael. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Your key to the week this week is the Tower card. Now, I know what you're thinking. Oh, here we go. Look, this is an energy that you are already used to. Taurus, as we already know, doesn't like change. It's not the easiest energy for you guys to deal with, right? Because you are the epitome of Earth, which is the fixed nature, and you are an Earth sign, which is already slow moving and slow to adapt or slow to change. However, as I've said many times before, but I'm going to reiterate here, once Taurus has implemented the change, they do it really, really well, because there's a consistency behind you guys. You have Uranus, the tower, moving through your sign. Can be considered Mars. It just depends how it shows up and obviously what cards it's with, etc. Now, you're right, this is an energy that you know well, because you've got Uranus moving through the sign of Taurus. So whether you're watching for your sun, your moon, or your ascendant, this is an energy that you've already been dealing with for the last like 3.5 years. So at this point, you're seasoned vets at this stuff. So when this card shows up, don't freak out. You've still got another 3 years of this transit to go, and it's changing you on those deep fundamental levels, because it's tearing apart everything that you knew and believed about yourself, about your life, about your relationship, whatever the area might be. You are being rewritten, and in order for you to be rewritten, you have to be edited, and in order to edit something, you've got to pull it apart. With that said, I would like to bless my deck of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity, and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise, and they help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So for your Tower card, it's basically saying in all of these different sectors of life, there's going to be some change, some liberation, or some big moment of kind of, okay, we're doing this now. When it comes to your actions and options, you have the 9 of Cups. When is the Tower card actually a blessing? When it shows up with the 9 of Cups, this is absolutely a blessing, right? And why is this so? Because the 9 of Cups is your wish fulfilled, right? So something that you've wanted, worked for, waited for, that you are deeply emotionally invested in, is happening for you. And the way that I kind of feel this is going to happen, and I've got one person specifically in mind as I'm reading this, because when I did their personal reading, I had a thought that this might be the case. And now that I see this, it kind of confirms it to me. But this will be for all of you in some way, shape or form. You are planning to do something, right? And you've got these big plans, maybe they're grandiose, maybe they're this, maybe da-da-da-da-da-da. Someone beats you to it and fulfills that thing for you. And it's like, oh my God, I didn't even see this coming. All right, so this is really, really wonderful. So as an example, let's say you're going to propose, right? You've got it all planned out in your head, how it's going to happen and da-da-da-da. And they propose to you. And you're like, well, there go my plans, right? But look at that, you still got what you wanted. This is such a beautiful energy, and this is why I say the Tower card isn't always detrimental. Even when it means the bad stuff, it's never detrimental, because it usually means it's getting rid of something in your life that you didn't need, that you had not realized that you didn't need, that was actually not serving its purpose. This, however, is a surprise or a blessing that comes in that you're just like, wow, this is awesome. Not really sure what to do with it or how to kind of respond, because I'm so amazed and this is also wonderful. But I really, really love it. I'm here for it. For those of you that are of childbearing age, etc., this could literally be a surprise pregnancy, so be mindful. It could also be as well, because it's the Nine of Cups, which is a card of healing, this could be some kind of spontaneous healing that shows up for you. For your communications and conversations, you've got the Five of Wands. So look, you've got this here with the Tower card. This is going to highlight, so this week, don't be surprised if you realize that there's somebody that is in direct competition with you. I don't think this is a bad thing. I actually think it's going to spur you on. I think it's going to give you the kick up the butt that you need to get something started. For some of you, this is a connection with a group of people. It could be a connection that is forged through a group of people. Communications this week will have a little bit of a competitive edge, but I actually think this is what you need at the moment. When it comes to those of you that are studying or in some form of academia, if you have a group or a study group or a group that you're working with, this could be a week where you start to realize, okay, this isn't actually a friendship, it really is a study group. Everybody is there to get what they need out of it. So this is one of those moments where you might realize, oh, okay, so it's not friendship, we're all about that work, which is not a bad thing. When it comes to those of you that are employed by somebody else, this is where it gets a little bit challenging, right? There is likely to be something at work that kicks off this week, right? There could be an element of competition. It could be that, you know, within like a bit of a group or a clique that takes place at work, there's a bust up. And then, you know, when that kind of thing happens, then obviously the people that make up that group will start looking for other allies that they can join a little crew with. I ain't with that, never have been, never will be. But be mindful that this is likely to happen, so that when it does, you can say, actually, you know what, I'm busy and I'm really not interested. When it comes to those, you can do whatever you want, I'm just saying. For those of you that are business owners, entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, this could, if you have employees, this could be a problem that erupts amongst them. If you are a one-man band, it could be that there is a group association that you have where it's kind of like, okay, that's getting messy. And it's like, my biggest piece of advice is steer clear this week. For those of you that are retired and no longer working, I like this because it could be that you are either reconnecting with a group of people that you have worked with before, maybe old colleagues, maybe old friends. And it's like you see them, and this isn't a bad thing, but you see them and you're like, wow, like, you know, your life is really full with awesome stuff. What am I doing? And again, there's some push here that's coming through your communication sector that's going to really spur you to action, which I'm all here for. For your love and relations, you've got the Eight of Pentacles. You've got this underneath that Nine of Cups. For those of you that are looking for work, this is really nice because your partner or your family could have the answer for you, and it could become very much by surprise. For those of you that are partnered, married, or in long-term commitments, your partner's work is about to get a boost. It does look like they're likely to be so busy though that they literally don't have any time for you, or it could be that their work takes on a bit more of an epic proportion where you're actually having to step in and help them in some way, even if they're employed by somebody else, right? For those of you that are, this also encourages you to do some work on the relationship, especially if you're finding that there's a bit of a battle of wills going on. When it comes to those of you that are single and looking, it's likely to be through your work, it's likely to be through your professional or academic life that you're meeting someone, and it could be as well that you are not the only person vying for this person's attention. But what feels really interesting to me, and it feels like this is the case, you could have somebody that comes to you and says, look, you know what, I really want to date you, I'm interested in you, and you realize that they've got a whole gaggle of people that are really interested in them. And so it's like, hey, listen, don't hate on me, they came to me. You might not even be interested in this person, although it looks like you may be, right? But it's like you realize very quickly that there is competition there. Whether you do or don't get into it is completely up to you. For your money and materials, you have the Hanged Man. No big purchases this week. This is not a week for big investments, I gotta say. When I say big investments, I'm talking like a new car, you know, like the big stuff that costs big money. Just because you've got that Tower card and it's a little bit all over the place. The Hanged Man, because it is a card of delays, waiting, patience, stillness, reassessment, reevaluation, when it comes up here for money, it really is a message to hold off on that big purchase that you've got planned. When it comes to your physical health and vitality, this is your hormones for some of you. This could like literally be a week where you're having to look at this. I mean, you've got this Nine of Cups here in your actions and options. So for some of you, this could be that you find an answer that you were looking for. It's like maybe you were feeling tired, maybe you were feeling ill, whatever. It's like this week you get answers. And from those answers, you can start to build a plan of how to really support and look after your health better from here on in. When it comes to your home and environment, this week, I really want to say that, like, and this is going to sound really weird, and I don't say this to scare anyone or to fearmonger or whatever, but this week, wrap your house in light. And that's not to say because there's something awful coming. It's just the only other phrase that comes to mind is wrap your home in cotton wool. And the reason I'm saying that is because it's like there could be some frayed emotions this week. So you want to call in the light, maybe do a cleansing, maybe do some kind of, you know, cleansing is a good idea. Maybe do a blessing for the home, like, you know, just things like that, things that are simple, but they wrap you in that cocoon of light, warmth, health and shelter. All right. But more so do it on a spiritual level. You know, even if it comes with like some sort of practice like smudging or whatever, do it on that level so that the emotional stuff isn't so, because there's some really nice stuff here, but it does feel like it's going to be an emotionally tense week. All right, with that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Take care of yourselves and I'll see you soon.